Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Angela Imagination, also known as Mrs. Imagination. You can call me either one. I'm so glad that you are here to watch the activities that I have planned for Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Viorst. Wow, this was such a fun book that we got to read together. I love picture books, and this one is one of my favorites. You know, the first activity that we're going to look at today has to do with my writer's notebook. Oh, you know, we're all good writers. We can become better writers. And one of the ways we do that is by having a special notebook with things that help us. Remember, the very first thing we put in here was a list of ideas. After we read a previous picture book, we started making a list of ideas. And today, I want to add to that list. You remember in our story, Alexander was a little boy who had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. But what if we changed the main character and he wasn't a little boy? What if we wrote a story about, I know what I could write about, a chef. Not that I'm a chef, but I like to cook. So I can imagine if I were a chef that worked at a restaurant and things started going bad and kept going bad and continued going bad. Oh, and it was a horrible, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That could be a fun story. So let me write down chef having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. So see, I have just added to my list. I had three things, three ideas for stories I could write. Now I have four. Great, but that's not all. Do you remember in the story of Alexander? Of course you do. His day, from the moment he woke up with gum in his hair, to the end when he went to bed and the cat didn't sleep with him and his brother took the pillow and the nightlight burned out. It was just bad all the way through. The mood of the book was just gloomy. The book had one mood, that's all. So what if we made a new heading called moods? You see, there are all kinds of moods. There are cheerful moods, gloomy, like Alexander, humorous, I've already written some down, humorous, mysterious, fearful. Oh, what if we wrote a story about an animal, maybe a little mouse, that was fearful of everything, even a Kleenex that dropped onto the ground. He was afraid of the Kleenex. Oh my! And maybe if the leaves rustled, he was afraid of the leaves. Oh my! You see, we can write our own stories with a mood that starts at the very beginning and stays the same. Alexander's mood could have changed. He could have said, I woke up with gum in my hair. Do you remember that Mrs. Imagination changed her voice when she was reading it? So that was Alexander's voice I was using. But instead of continuing to be gloomy, what if Alexander had said, I went to my mom and she got the gum out. She used some ice and peanut butter and had to trim a little bit of my hair, but now my hair is okay. What a great mom. So you see, we could have changed. Alexander's mood could have changed. Most of us don't keep the same mood all day long. But you could write a story about another mood. So I want you to make a list in your writer's notebook of different moods that a character or a book, a whole story could have. All right, the next activity we're going to do has to do with our sketching pencil. Remember, in the story, all the pictures were drawn in black and white as if they were using a pencil. And they did this interesting thing. Let me find a good one. Well, they're all great pictures. Ray Cruz was an excellent illustrator. If you will notice these pictures of these faces, do you see the part here and here that's called shading? Maybe you'll want, even if you don't have sketching pencils, but maybe if you just have a regular pencil even, I've done it with a regular pencil before, just draw a face. You can't see that. I'm gonna have to get that closer. That's loud. Okay, so you're gonna draw a face and some eyes. Maybe a mouth and a nose. Okay, so there's just my regular face. But what if I added some shading? Just kind of turned my pencil on the side and drew some hair. Maybe you just want to do a little experimenting with sketching with a pencil without color. Sometimes that's a fun thing to do. You can, even draw clouds. I've read a book lately about a cloud. Oh, it's not a very dark cloud. I've got a light sketching pencil. And maybe you want the clouds to be a little gloomy. So you're going to just color them in a little bit. And it looks almost like that little boy has a dark cloud over his head. Kind of like Alexander did. So maybe you'll want to experiment with sketching. Just use a pencil. If you have sketching pencils, that's great. If you don't, just use a regular pencil. It's fun to sketch. Now, the third activity involves a little bit of activity. Well, isn't that funny? The activity involves some activity? Yes. This is going to be a guess the mood game. So, I want you to guess my mood right now. Okay, what do you think the mood I was feeling, what do you think it was? Surprised? Excited? Okay. Yes, I think definitely surprised. If I were excited, I might go, that would be excited. Guess this mood. Oh, I bet you've seen that one. And you probably had that one. Ooh, that's a really mad or angry mood, yeah. And then, of course, you could guess this one. Oh, I don't like to be sad, but sometimes I do have a sad mood. You can play Guess the Mood game with your family. just take a piece of paper and write down the mood that you are going to act out, and hold on to that piece of paper and then act it out without talking. It's like charades, but it will be called Guess the Mood. You'll just have a great time. It's just fun to do things like that. And it will help you think of some moods to add to your writer's notebook. Oh yes, you can add you can look on the internet, let your mom or dad help you on the internet find some moods, and you can add those to your notebook and use them in your Guess the Mood game. Oh, wow. I hope you've enjoyed these activities today. I've had such a delightful time sharing them with you. And it's all because we read a picture book. I look forward to your next visit. Until then, see ya.